are having so much fun, and we know you're going to love our next guest. His name is Tony Walker, and he is a comedy guy. Comedy cures everything. So.
Absolutely. I had cancer at the age of 32, and I do believe that the laughter and the positive attitude got me through it just as much as the medications did, which led to the comedy troupe that I run called Knockem Comedy. We do dinner theater, murder mysteries, game shows, kid shows. We're not stand-up or anything like that, just comedy shows, variety shows.
So you go to restaurants and where else? Like theaters?
Restaurants, private parties, corporate events, fundraisers. Did I say fundraisers?
Fundraisers, firehouses.
Comedy shows, they're murder mysteries, they're audience participation. It's a scripted show because there's clues and hints that have to go out, but it's not a don't blink or you'll miss something. It's not Agatha Christie.
Right.
It's a comedy. It's lighthearted, but one of the characters does get killed, and then the audience has to figure out who did it and why. And if it's a private party or a corporate event, we personalize it to fit their event.
Now, do you ask the audience for help with the mysteries? Or
Yeah, they solve it.
All by themselves.
Based on what they saw during the show, we even give them a little section where they can interrogate the suspects.
Oh, that's
and,
fun.
So we'll deflect, deny, point fingers at other characters, but everybody makes the rounds throughout the whole room and talks to people.
The show is guaranteed. It's 100% guaranteed fun.
Totally.
Everywhere we go, everybody loves that show.
The audience just get so involved, and there's just such a part of the show, and that makes it even better.
Other things that you do aside from mystery.
we do game shows. Oh, the game show, we have a podium with lights and buzzers and sounds, and it's basically
Like
a trivia game show, or it could be, again, we ad-lib with that too. So they may want a trivia game show, but if we show up and they're a loud, boisterous group and they're a lot of fun, we could ask them to do funny physical challenges or do some karaoke or whatever, or name that tune, whatever we feel like doing, and they'll be willing to do. We'll take it there.
Yeah. What movie introduced the phrase, "There's no crying in baseball"?
Oh, wait.
What letter comes after A? Go ahead. B is correct!
Is there a favorite skit that you do that just still cracks you up every time you do it?
We do a lot of audience participation murder mystery shows, comedic murder mystery shows. And there's two shows. We have a mob show. We're in New York. You have to have the mob shows. And we have a redneck wedding, which is just
I have to come see that one.
You're welcome anytime. Anytime. In fact, I even brought you a
growing up
shirt.
in St. Louis, Missouri, I have to say, you did?
Of course I did.
Hey!
That you will wear everywhere you go. In fact, I have a whole bunch there. I'm giving one out to everybody.
Everywhere I go. Okay.
That's right.
There you go.
Knockem Comedy.
Oh, that's great.
Can I
Knockem
pretend I'm
Comedy.
drinking something here?
Excellent. Yeah, you can pretend like
Thanks,
you're drinking something.
I'm having fun on the set.
We actually do put water in it when guests ask.
Just
we
not
do. But
this
if you
guest.
if you don't ask ahead of time, wait, this one's full of water. You ready?
Nice.
1, 2, 3. All right, there you go.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what?
Had an awesome time.
All right. KDC, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right.
conversation with me in your head because I didn't.
No, I did. I told you.
hear any of this. This is all like completely new stuff. So weirdo. I feel like you need to move over more because the thing's right in your face. $10 seconds.
This is Govs Radio. Govs Radio.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show, coming at you live from Governor's Comedy Club, the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown. Thanks for joining us this morning. GovsRadio.com is the website. You can see our show there live right now.
Behind the bag, it gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Hello, Tony. Mookie Wilson here, 1986 Mets. How you doing? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, that Knockem Dead Comedy Radio, man. I miss you. I wish I was still up there, man. But I'll wait till it warms up a little bit, and hopefully this year things will be a little bit better, man. But when we're talking about comedy, hey, the early years of Mets was a lot to laugh about. You had to make a lot of comedy off those guys. Hey, hope to see you guys during the summer, and hopefully get back on the show, man, at some point in time during the course of the year, all right? All right? Yeah, fine. Contact me, man. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Podcast here on GovsPodcasts.com. Coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, where this weekend you will see Nathan McIntosh this weekend. Nathan McIntosh is playing the club this weekend. Don't forget,
I love his apples.
I like that. Don't forget, at Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown on May 21st, John Ziegler performing at the club, filming a comedy special. Actually, I don't know if it's a special or an album.
I think it's
a special, like
a
video. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
John Ziegler getting through his health battles, working his way back. Very excited about that. And, of course, in the Giggle Room, Terry McNeely and friends tonight. Al Lubble and Rob Chaffee playing the Giggle Room tomorrow. Let's see.
Tomorrow in the Giggle Room.
Tomorrow in the Giggle Room.
Is who? No, it's not. It's tonight.
It's Chaffee.
That's right.
Tonight is McNeely.
Right.
And Tim Saliani.
Right.
Also in the Giggle Room, May 6th, Chris Cassandro, Joe Pontillo, and Brian McGinnis, May 21st. And I think I'm on that. I think. Either they were messing with me or I really am on that gig. I don't even know. And, of course, Dan LaRocco and Joe Cravella and Courtney Otera, April 2nd. They are playing the Giggle Room. The Brokerage this weekend, Rich Aronovich, who is hilarious. Frank Vignola is playing McGuire's this weekend, and I think Cravella's on that too.
Oh, cool.
Go to govs.com, check out their full schedule, and make yourself some reservations. As a matter of fact, for Governors tonight and the Brokerage tonight, if you go on govs.com to make your reservations and you type in the code, all capital letters and one word, free laughs 18. But laughs is 2 Fs. So it's
Yeah, it is.
free.
Fucking free, you guys.
Free LAFFS 18. All one word, no spaces.
Fucking free.
All capital letters. If you type in that code, you get free admission to those just to those two clubs tonight. And of course, don't forget coming at you to Governors in the Giggle Room on April 1st. Knockem Dead Comedy presents a murder mystery like you've never seen, a funny mob show. It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of laughs, music and games and murder and laughs and a great time.
Starring Jeffrey Posey. Queen's Own.
Queen's Own. It's going to be fantastic. Yes, you will see Jeff Posey like you've never seen him before. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So go to govs.com, check out their full schedule, make your reservations to some great shows.
Tonight with McNeely, and since Saliani's on the bill, he with your ticket you do get free admonition.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
I was impressed.
Yeah,
very nice.
That was for Tim, even though he's not one.
Yeah, right. Is he back from his trip with his gay trip? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was really odd.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, a bunch of guys in a cabin, and they said they were going snowboarding and skiing. They left on a Sunday. They didn't even start skiing till like Thursday. Right. That's exact. Yes.
That's how. Anytime
they were working the poles.
Anytime I sit on a couch and I'm in the middle cushion and there's two guys on, I always look at them. I go, I feel like I'm skiing. And they'll always be like, "What?"
And then they just whip it out at that point, and you're best friends.
That's foreplay.
We have Matt Napo joining us in a few minutes. Looking forward to that. I was just on his show. You were kind of a part of it too.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun. We had a great time. The show is called Coffee with the Dog. I'm going to ask him what that means. So
D-O-G or
D-O-G, yeah,
not D-O-double-G or D-A-W-G.
No, and I don't think he's dyslexic. Talking with the God. Yeah, I know. Talking with the dog. Excuse me. Coffee with the dog. Coffee with the dog. So he's going to be joining us in a few minutes. We just did his show. Go check it out. It's YouTube and Facebook. Had a great time. Better than I expected. And apparently I'm in trouble with him. Apparently he tried to do something in the studio that I don't know. I think I turned him down. I don't even
go fuck yourself.
I
don't know how long ago that was.
He said it was 6 months ago. Because I was hoping he was going to say 5 years ago because I wasn't here at that time.
Right.
So that's what I was hoping he was going to say.
It was 5 years and 6 months ago.
Let's go with that. So maybe I'll bring him in after all. I don't recognize the name, so I'm not sure. Maybe he's lying. Maybe he's just trying to stir up some trouble, so we get some views and internet, and we go viral. Maybe he just wants to fight.
Maybe he just wants you to want him. He wants you to want him.
That was a cheap trick, Andy.
It was.
Oh!
I get it.
Right. All right. Some quick announcements, and then we'll get Matt on the show here. Please, of course, right above my head, please like and share the show. If you're watching on YouTube, which is where we interact with you guys on the YouTube channel, please hit the heart thing, and share the link and share it on all your social media pages. Get on your phone and tell everybody you know about all the great shows here at Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, especially this one since we're live right now, and tell them about Coffee with the Dog, too. Why not?
Coffee with the Dog.
And Coffee with the Dog.
Sounds like it would be a good radio show.
Like Coffee with the Dog. Yeah, get some good heavy music. Coffee with the Dog. Coffee with the Dog.
I'm just having coffee with the dog.
What's a walk in the dog?
Walk in the dog. That's what that was the framework of.
I know that's why it worked. Because I thought of the
I'm
song.
out of sorts. That's the thing. So.
Yes, yeah. Well, you were before we went on the air. Now you're fine.
Oh no, I'm totally fine.
Yeah,
but duck in water inside. I have a spiral shaped penis.
Oh,
they have spiral shaped.
So you have to literally screw into your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of spinning. Do
Yeah.
you get like a third person to spin you around?
If I'm lucky.
You spin me right round, baby, right round like a record.
Usually I have to pay extra. I tell you, that's my stock joke for all of those.
I think Matt Napa was like, I'm out of here. I'm not dealing with
these
these weirdos. Although we were talking about some weird shit on his show, too, literally.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
All right, if you, just like Matt, if you would like to do some work here at Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, whether you want to do a podcast with us that live streams, or you want to record one that streams on our network, or you want to do one yourself, record some video or some audio or whatever you need it for, and you need a good studio with cameras and microphones and lighting and Zoom and 4 phone lines and a whole bunch of stuff and a couch. We even have a couch. If you look right at the Knockem Dead Comedy logo right there, you'll see the couch behind it. We have this wonderful little studio here, and we'll hook you up with whatever you need. We have a great time in here, and we have good rates. And maybe if you're nice to me, you'll even get some discounts on your rates. I don't know. We can work something out.
It sounds so sexual.
I know. I am sounding creepy right now.
We've got good rates, and,
if you're nice to me.
I could help you out with those rates if you want it.
We're innocent. We're good people here. And we just want to
make the world a better place.
And make some money. So
that would make the world a better place.
Yeah, that's right. Get in touch with us. The Govs Comedy Club podcast Facebook page. Message us through that page. And we'll get you going. We'll get you going and make it happen. All right, let me see. Did I get all the announcements done? Studio time. Share the show.
Check.
Smokes, Jokes, and Insults. A new episode premiered this morning at 10 o'clock. Go check it out after this show. Smokes, Jokes, and Insults. It's done here at Governor's, but it's got its own separate YouTube page. It's fantastic. It's hosted by Chris Monty with Kevin Downey Jr., and then they have special guests like Mark David Hirschman. Actually, Mark David Hirschman is a regular, but Jessica Colazzo's on there. Chris Roach is on there from time to time. Carla Okerson. I make a cameo or two. It's a lot of fun. It's comedians playing poker and just picking on each other and telling some stories from the road. It's a great show. We've been enjoying it. We hope you guys are too, because we'd like to keep making them, but only if it gets a good response. So I've been telling you guys for a while now, we had episodes premiering every Friday at 10 throughout February and March. Well, we just added 3 or 4 more episodes, so it's going to go through much of April too. Woo-hoo-hoo! What do you know about that?
Oh my God.
And it's fun. It's funny. They're only like 5 to 10 minute shows, so it doesn't take up a lot of time. So after the show, you go get your lunch, sit down and enjoy.
You're not doing anything. Watch it on the toilet.
Right.
Watch it on the toilet.
Watch it on the toilet. There you go.
Come on.
What else are you going to do on the toilet?
I know. Come on.
All right. Those are all the announcements. We're finally done. And I believe Matt Napo is waiting in the waiting room there. I'm going to bring him in.
The virtual wings, if you will.
Let's see if I, as long as I do this right. All right.
Yeah, Tony, do it.
All right. Let's see.
I just did it, and I'm ready to do it again.
Matt, can you hear us?
Hola, Matt. ¿Cómo está?
Matt, can you hear us, Matt?
Yes, I can hear you. I have to turn
is.
you off on YouTube because I was listening over there. I have
Right.
to turn you off over there. How you doing? Good to be here.
Excellent. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us today. We appreciate it.
Oh, look at me. I'm in a window.
You are, yes. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever you do. I never happened to me before. Nobody ever put me in a box over in the corner before.
Nobody puts Matt in a corner.
I'm so bad at
Don't
this.
put me in a box.
It's like you're a puppet.
And I'm actually now I'm cropping a little bit. I'm showing off my limited technical knowledge. There you are. So now I got you.
Yeah, all Tony's doing is just clicking and dragging a bunch of times.
That's all.
It's just like,
look at me. Matt Napo is here. Good morning. I had a great time on your show, Matt. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you for being there. I appreciate it, and you were a great guest, and it's always fun to talk to new people. And I just basically I'm doing this 5 days a week now, so it's hit and miss sometimes because I've never met most of the comedians I have on, so a lot of them are I have repeats, but a lot of them are first timers, and you never know, and so. But you were a great guest, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you, pal. That's very nice, and I appreciate that very much. And same thing, yeah. We don't know each other, so I wasn't sure what to expect, but it was a lot of fun. A lot of funny jokes. When I first signed in, I'm hearing discussions about aliens and bidets. I was like, what in the world is going on here?
Bidets are huge in the alien culture.
Exactly. And who is was it Kiara? Is that how you said
it?
Yeah,
Kiara is a singer in my band. I don't know her last name because it keeps changing, to be honest with you.
Oh, that's hot.
Yeah, it is kind of hot. But just call Kiara K for now. But no, she's one of the lead singers in my band, and she's my Happy Minute girl.
Yeah, she. I felt bad for her the way you were abusing this poor little hottie.
that's kind of her purpose on the show is for somebody to be mad to take my abuse. That's her.
I have to ask, what did you do on your show that Tony wasn't wearing his pants?
Oh, that was part of the writers. So you can't do the show without pants. Yeah. Oh, you have to do the show with pants.
I thought it had to do with the potato experiment. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, that's why he sent me a potato in the mail.
I did listen to that part and the part where you were talking to Tony second half. And to be honest, this guy maybe didn't try that much. He might have just stumbled onto the potato.
Oh, you're saying like he literally stumbled, like he fell onto a potato,
well,
and it just,
or he wasn't wearing pants. He was doing like a Zoom call, wasn't wearing pants. There happened to be a potato on the seat that he did not see, and then boom,
he was talking with the dog.
And then he said, "I should have coffee.
I need a potato in my butt."
Coffee with the dog.
All right, so I want to get to the coffee and the dog in a second, but first, let's get the
meat,
the 100-pound gorilla. 100-pound gorilla?
100-pound? No,
500-pound.
800 because 100-pound gorilla, I think I could take it.
Yeah, right. I wouldn't be worried about that.
I wouldn't be worried at all.
The 800-pound gorilla in the room. Did you really email us like 6 months ago looking to do something in here?
Yeah, and it wasn't you who got back to me. It's like through Facebook. It was Gov's Radio, and they said they got my email and they would be getting back to me. I could find it, but it's probably, again, 6 months ago. But yeah, I got a correspondence. Basically, because I was having so many comedians on and I wanted to do something live. My studio here is out in Shoreham, and like I'm not going to get anybody to come from New York to Shoreham, Long Island to sit here with me. So I figured you're more locally situated where I could probably get some people from New York City to come out to Levittown rather than Shoreham. And I thought, wow, what a great studio. And I saw that you weren't having anybody really early, which is kind of my genre right now. So it's a perfect fit. I could rent their studio, do it from there, get them some publicity. If I get some big name comedians to come out there, it behooves governors to have those names associated with it. So I thought it was a win-win, but never heard back, and so I gave up on it.
It sounds like a win-win to me too, which is why I was so shocked when you mentioned it.
So 6 months ago, are we talking car accident and neck injury time period, so that it could have gotten lost in the wash?
Sallie,
it wasn't you again. I'm looking for it. It was somebody at the email. I think I corresponded directly with the Gov's Facebook page originally.
Was it Joe Governor?
And then they said to go to the website and send an email through there. I'm just looking through.
This all sounds like Tony.
No, I know you are, but I wouldn't have said that. But I have access to all that, so but I would think I would have at least seen it. So none of this. So all right, well, I'm going to follow up, and I'm going to try and get you in here after all. I'm gonna try and make it happen.
Look at this.
That would be cool.
But yeah, I'm going to apologize too, because I don't know what in the world that could have been. So my apologies on that. I'm just shocked.
You absolutely don't need to apologize. Again, it wasn't. If it were like that important, I would have probably taken a drive out. I don't leave my house unless I'm doing a gig, playing with the band, or I have to leave my house for the last 2 years. Like COVID has been. And I hate to say this because people will think I'm being cold and callous, because I know many people who suffered with the disease a lot.
Yeah, of course.
But for me as a hermit, there could have been nothing better than a lockdown. I mean, I would love to be locked down for the rest of my life.
Well, you can pay somebody for that.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
that's I've done that.
Locked down, locked in,
and you don't even have to pay extra. Some people specialize in that.
Right.
Well, yeah, that's a little extreme. I didn't mean that.
So just like light bondage, you can still find that too.
Well, I was talking about my previous sponsor, and you don't want to go there, but I'm familiar with that whole world. So I just
previous sponsor. All right, so you mentioned you're in Shoreham.
Yes.
So tell me, I'm a little interested because I see that you're from New Mexico originally. You went to school in Massachusetts.
Not originally. Here's my story. If you want it, I'll try to be it in a nutshell. I grew up, born on Long Island. Grew up in Lindenhurst, Long Island.
Oh, nice.
My father was a bookmaker and criminal, and my parents went to jail when I was in 9th grade.
Come on, really?
Yeah, seriously. Came home from school, and both parents and the FBI had a wiretap on my house and took my parents because my mom answered the phone for him, they took her too. And so I made a plan to get away at that point, and I ran away from home in 10th grade, went to Florida, put myself through high school in Florida. That's a whole other story. Then went out to New Mexico to put myself through college. And so that's where my New Mexico roots come in. But I've been back on Long Island now for 30 years. That's more than 30 years, 35
That is one hell of a story.
That is. That's a fun story.
There's a lot more to it than that, but I
Right.
just for the sake of time.
You left out the juicy details.
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Yeah, you can imagine, growing up with, mob, not mobbed up, but he wasn't a made man or in the mob, but he had mob connections, and any bookmaker is paying the mob at some point anyway. So what happened was he got ratted out by a guy who owed him lots of money, and he went to the FBI. The FBI used that testimony to put a wiretap on my house, and then he basically arrested my parents. And
and that's how ignorant I am. He said bookmaker, and I'm thinking, he actually
made
books. Yeah.
How do you get all the pages to stick together? Was going to be my next question.
I'm picturing somebody putting together leather, cover
With,
and
loops on and like a
compulsive gambler, so that every week, depending on how the teams did, we were either rich or poor. Buy a new car, new whole stereo system, new color TV, whatnot. Okay, we had a good week, and then we had a bad week. Take it all back. Yikes. You're poor.
And you didn't have other family? You just took off, huh?
I don't have a lot of big family, and here's the deal. They came to the house. At the time, I was like 12, 13 years old, right?
Jeez.
Or a little 13 and a half. And my brother was doing some stuff that was illegal also, and I was selling drugs. I was 13 years old in high school selling drugs. And so my brother got in the face of the FBI guy, and he said, "You better shut up or we'll take you and your little brother too. We know the whole family is in this."
See, I was going to say, did they know what porn you were watching, or
There's no porn in those days.
The magazines?
I'm old enough that there was no porn. I mean, this basically porn was just starting out.
Pre-porn?
It was kind of like Deep Throat was in the movie. The Devil and Miss Jones was advertised in the
Behind
back of
the
the Daily
green door.
News, that kind of stuff. But it wasn't like adult video stores where you can go rent VHS and then now basically streaming into kids' bedrooms.
So you're basically telling us that your name is not Napo and you're in the witness protection program.
Yeah, that's what that New Mexico trip sounded like.
No. Actually, no. That's I am not in any kind of. The guy who ratted my father out was in the witness protection.
And you went to New Mexico to find
him. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, guess who's here?
My uncle, or my father's second cousin, who I called an uncle, one of those dudes.
Yeah.
He was a made man. He was a hitman, and his father was a hitman. And him and my father took me on a hit when I was 5 years old. My introduction into that whole life took me to Brooklyn, where they whacked. Well, it was revenge, but shots were fired. I'm 5 years old. It was like, keep your head down, that kind of. So that's why I was a runaway. Basically, that life puts a lot of stress on a kid.
That definitely gets an Owen Wilson. Wow. Wow. Just wow.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Matt Napo, I had no idea this is where we were going to go today.
I know.
Holy
I love
cow.
this. This is great.
Yeah, and my whole neighborhood was like that. Luca Brasi from The Godfather, Lenny Montana. I grew up across the street from him, and my whole neighborhood. And he was really he was what he played in that movie. I mean, he was the real deal. And so my whole neighborhood was either people who were on the fringes of organized crime or wannabes or pretenders, but everything was very mob centric and criminal centric and all that stuff.
And that's interesting to me because on Long Island, you have certain towns that are, rumored to have, this town is all mobbed up, or this town, or Massapequa is all mobs and cops, but I've never heard Lindenhurst in any of those conversations before.
Well, it was really Copeg, Lindenhurst, but still, even you never hear either Copeg or Lindenhurst in those conversations. But Copeg had the Italian American Civic Association, and Luca Lenny Montano was very big in that. And like Italian Americans were. Had this idea that they were persecuted somehow in a minority and needed to have a civic association to fight for Italian American rights, when it was really just about what can we squeeze out of people, what can we use this muscle for, Joe Colombo and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sure. Wow. So so you ran. All right. So what did you end up doing with your life? You this is amazing to me. In fact, my wife is very similar. Her mother died. Her father hooked up with another woman very quickly, and they moved and left her alone. So she finished high school also by herself, just living with various friends until she finished high school. So, and then put herself through college as well. So so you put yourself through school, which again is amazing, and credit to you for doing that. And what did you end up? What career did you end up in? If we're allowed to ask, I don't know if that's
many careers. I've had so many careers that I can't keep track of them. But here's the idea. I went down there. It was at the time Walt Disney World was just opening up. They had they had Disneyland in California, but Disney World in Orlando was just opening up. And my idea was I was going to go there and work as a magician in the magic shop on Main Street, USA. And I went there first day and met the guy who was running it. And,
Mickey?
He agreed to have me on as an apprentice. Oh, wow. And I was there for a day and a half.
So you were the magician's apprentice? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, magician's apprentice.
There was a hat involved?
All that stuff. Yeah, learning to do tricks and sell tricks. Basically, that's what you was doing, learning tricks so you could sell tricks to the people on the street. But a day and a half into it, FBI raided the place and said, we understand you have a runaway here. And so Disney did not want the FBI raiding Disney World. And so that came to an end pretty quick.
Is somebody going to come raid us now that we're talking to you? I'm getting nervous.
I mean, it is a small world after all. It is a small world after all.
It could happen.
Right.
Sorry.
But on the bright side, it might help your credibility with the murder mystery stuff.
There you go.
Officially rated by the FBI, whatever. So I, instead of working, basically, I said I'm not going back no matter what. I became an emancipated minor, and I was picking oranges during the day, starting at 4:00 in the morning, picking oranges during the day, and then going to night school in Florida. And basically, if you know anything about picking oranges, it's a terrible job and dirty as hell. So as a kid, I would be up at 4:00 in the morning picking oranges and getting covered in black pesticides and all this stuff, and go to school at night covered in this stuff in a very rural area in Florida. And finally, I graduated early because they were way behind where I was on Long Island in schools, and so breezed through the schools down there, and then went out to New Mexico. And basically worked on a cattle ranch to try to pay my way through school. Did a little bit of modeling for the art classes, nude modeling. Basically, you sit there naked and they draw you for $5 an hour. But had so many careers along the way: radio, television, music. I'm still in music. I mean, that's what I do a lot. I play music every weekend and sometimes weekdays here.
What's the name of your band or?
The Rockin' 45s.
The Rockin' 45s.
Yeah, it's basically it is what it suggests. The 45 music. If you're a fan of the 60s and 70s when you had your adapter and all that stuff, that music, 45s.
Right. Flipping playing the 45s, flipping the
yellow little
the little
plastic
piece in the middle, right?
Yep. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
I like it. And that's the genre. So we're talking 45s,
that's
50.
what it started out to be. Yeah. Now we'll play anything. And with the young girls, Kiara, who you met, she kind of added a whole new dynamic to the band. So we're doing a lot of modern music and stuff. So a mix of everything. Really.
Nice. And you're a guitar player, yes?
In the band, yes, but I was never a guitar player. I was always a bass player, drummer, keyboard player. Ended up playing guitar in the band 20 years ago when our guitar player quit on a gig, and we had nobody else to play guitar. And I said, "Well, I know how to play guitar. I don't really know the parts that well, but I'll take my way through the gig," and I've been doing it ever since.
Oh, that's funny.
22 years now. Yeah.
Very cool.
All right. So then, where does Coffee with the Dog? How did that fall into all this?
Well, my original radio show on WNYG 1440 AM, standing tall and proud in Babylon, New York. Mind Dog the Magnificent Show. Basically, from doing the magic stuff, I was doing a lot of mentalism, and I had a temper when I was young and got the nickname Mad Dog. But when I started doing mentalism, Mad Dog became Mind Dog. And so I was doing this show on WNYG radio where I had all the paranormal stuff, which is why you heard about UFO stuff today.
Okay.
UFO people, psychics, ghost hunters, all that crap. And Mind Dog was basically just about that stuff, the Mind Dog show. So I've been the Mind Dog for 40 years now.
Wow.
And so that's the dog part of it. And Coffee is just because it's my morning edition. I do Mind Dog TV at night where I have guests. Like tonight, have a guest which talking about deja vu and that stuff. I have guests from
I feel like I've seen something like that before.
Yeah. Where?
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
But I feel like
it feels like
I've seen it before.
Heard about a program like that before. I know I've had that same experience. I don't know what it is. I wish there was a word for it. But
well, then there's of course I stole this from Robin Williams, but I've been using it for years. Vujade, which is knowing that you've been somewhere before.
Well, that's funny because Robert Williams was known for stealing stuff, so it's about time somebody stole something.
Well, yeah, but he used to try to do the right thing. If someone would have
check, right?
Right, he would just pull the check. Right, he would just pull the check right out of his pocket and write $100. What was it, $100? I think it was
like
right.
that.
Just here you go. Thank you very much.
I did not know that. I know, like he brought a check ready to steal.
You never know. You never know if you're going to steal a joke from somebody and they're going to see it.
That was pretty good.
Well, thank you. It's always been one of my favorites, Robin Williams. I wanted to be him when I was a kid.
Well, who didn't?
Yeah, no kidding.
What a genius.
I think David Brenner had him banned from coming to the Comedy Store while he was performing there. He said, if he walks through the door, I'm going to stop my act dead cold until he's thrown out of the room. But I never knew that he brought checks with him. That's a revelation to me. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he claimed, if I have this right, he claimed that he didn't intentionally steal jokes. It's just his mind is constantly going. He would come up with stuff, and he claimed it was just a coincidence that he was bringing up the same stuff that these other comedians were doing. But since he had the money, if someone went to him and said, "Hey, that was mine," he'd pull out the checkbook right out of his pocket, write $100 and hand it right to them. Which I don't know if that helps or not, but I'm sorry.
I completely believe that's the truth. That he did not intentionally steal it. That he was just he was talking so fast, stream of consciousness stuff,
right?
And that's bound to happen. I mean, you can't if you're moving as fast as he did with all that kinetic energy, and your mind is going, and your mouth, you become out of control of what comes out of your mouth. Right. And oh shit, did I just say that guy's joke? Damn, that cost me $100.
Yeah, you're like a conduit for. Much like the Flash with the speed. You know what? This different conversation. It's a comic book thing. Never mind. Sorry.
So let me go back a little bit. So you mentioned aliens and stuff. How'd you get into that? Did you have an experience or something?
No, it's all part of the mentalism stuff. Because I was doing a lot of hypnotism stuff, and people were coming for regressive hypnotism. People who would claim to have been abducted by aliens. They did a lot of hypnosis with them, trying to get in touch with the experience and stuff. And I was never a believer. I was a big skeptic. And so to me, it was just fun to do. I was a fan of Art Bell, and I wanted to do a radio show like that. And what I started doing, because I was always a wise ass and just a real dick.
I already like this guy.
Basically, I would have psychics come on the show and call-ins, and I'd have all my friends call in wanting to get a reading from the psychic, and everything the psychic said, they'd say, "Nah, you're not even close, man. You don't know what you're talking about." And then I would say, "You know what? I think I want to try this. And then I would come on and I would say, yeah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. How'd you know that? How'd you know that? Wow, my dog, you're amazing. And then the psychics would know that they were set up and get mad at me and start like fights with me in the studio.
Nice.
So it was comedy kind of and making fun of it. But so that's where it all came in. So I had literally every kind of whack job UFO person.
Nice.
Is that how you introduced them? Ladies and gentlemen, our next whack job.
The next fucking whack
Sometimes when I had a guy who was from planet Ooh, because they don't have language, they just have sounds on this planet he's from. And so I asked him, he was from planet. I said, well, what's the name of your planet? He said, Ooh.
Oh, it's not ooh, it's ooh. Oh, okay.
Planet Ooh.
You got me. That means something completely different.
Yeah. Planet. So Paul from Ooh, and I would introduce him as a whack job. Lots of guys. You're familiar with the Philadelphia experiment?
Oh yeah,
the boat. I had two guys who claimed to be on that boat. Ed Balick, Al Balick, who did a lot of those kind of shows, and his soul transfer, Duncan Cameron. Now they were the same person, but they were two people on my show. And what happened was when they came back, their soul split into two people, according to them.
Right.
And Duncan Cameron, which sounds like a made-up name anyway, John Cameron Swayze or whatever. Duncan Cameron said he told me straight, looked me directly in the eye and said he went to Mars and met Elvis and Jesus on Mars and looked me dead serious. So now how can you not call somebody like that a whack job?
Yeah.
I mean,
it was very Slaughterhouse-5.
Yeah, just like crazy people.
Wheat.
Preston Nichols, who claimed to have been part of uncovered the Montauk Project, where the CIA and FBI and Project Blue Book and all that stuff were doing time travel experiments and all that.
Which was Stranger that Stranger Things is based on all that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never watched that. I didn't know that.
The Montauk Project?
It was supposed to be set on Long Island because what the guys who write it, they're from here, and they the Camp Hero stuff and just all of that. Yeah, that's what. But then they put it in Indiana, even though like I don't know, when I first started watching, I was like, this vibe's like this is here, and then when they said it was Indiana, I'm like, all right,
yeah.
But then reading up on it, yeah.
Oh wow.
But yeah, cool.
I don't have television, so I am like the most culturally unhip person on the planet. I don't have any television in my house at all.
Oh, so you don't even stream stuff?
Well, I'm not, other than this kind of stuff, no.
Oh wow. And what is there a reason or?
Well, I felt like it,
the FBI was watching through the TV.
This would be the perfect opportunity to be like, because they're always watching.
Yes.
Nah, it's not that. It's not that at all. First of all, the political nonsense that was coming through television constantly, the constant division, and this started 13 years ago when I said I was ahead of the curve in this whole media is just poison. I don't need this stuff thinking for me or telling me what to think about anything. So that was a big part of it. But the impetus of it was a Met game. I think are you a Met fan?
I'm a big Met fan. You watch what you say, Matt Napo.
No.
Tread lightly.
Big
Tread
Met fan
softly.
from 1962 until 2008, where they choked for the second year in a row against the Phillies. And here's what happens: they're tied with the Phillies now. Last series of the season, and all they have to do is win one game, and they're going to be in the playoffs. And ninth inning comes, bases loaded, Philly up 1-0, and Ryan Church comes up, swings at 3 pitches, strikes out.
Yep.
David Wright comes up and swings for the fences. He's got bases loaded. All he needs to do is put the ball in play, and you're going to be in the playoffs, or at least go to extra innings, right? He's swinging for the fences and strikes out.
Yep.
And I said, "That's it. I'm never watching another game." And everybody said, "Nah, you'll be watching tomorrow." I said, "Oh yeah," and I took all the TVs and threw them to the curb and said, "That should prove that I'm never going to watch again." And so I
respect your stubbornness.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Ryan Church was never the same after he got that concussion. He just was never the same.
Yeah.
He was a promising young player, and got a concussion. And wow, but as Met fans, we're used to losing. So I have no desire to throw my TV out the window. I'm just used to it.
But that kind of choking 2 years in a row, and the way they did it, and the fact that all you got to do is put the ball in play. God damn it, just put the ball in play. And
I'm going to say
defensive.
he's more of a fan than you are.
He's more of a fan. Why? Because
more
he's
emotionally invested.
He's definitely more emotionally invested.
Definitely. That's the thing. See, I grew up. You have to take in my upbringing in a gambling house where every game meant life or death.
Right.
And so I grew up with that attitude. So a loss would mean my family would suffer, and all my friends would suffer until the next win. So every loss meant I was the most miserable person you could ever be around. You don't want to be.
Guys, I guess I'm not going to the. Gonna go to the field trip because the goddamn Mets lost again.
Right, yeah,
and he's 5 years old saying,
"Yeah, absolutely,
hilarious."
So, but when they won, I was like the best guy in the world to be around. I was
1986.
On me, drinks on me, dinner on me. They won, and then tomorrow they'd lose, and I'd be like evil. What's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? That's who I was with baseball. So toxic.
Wow.
I've always respected Mr. Hyde not trying to steal the doctor part. 'Cause technically, he's a doctor, right?
Right.
But anyway,
Right.
I digress.
or the Hulk trying to destroy Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
we'll go with that. All right. Wow, this is this is interesting. I had no idea we were going down any of these roads this morning with Matt Napa. This is great
It's
stuff.
like an awesome minefield.
Yeah,
yes. Well, or Mind Dog.
Mind
So
dog
do you
field.
still
It's a mind dog field?
Do you still hypnotize people?
No, I don't do that. I don't actually. I call hypnosis like a card trick, magic trick without props. Basically, that's what it is.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I don't discount the phenomena and the things that people go through, but really, it's all in your mind, and that's where Mind Dog comes from.
Well, I was hypnotized once. I was, I think, 16 or 17, and it was nothing like. No, it's nothing like that, you dick. It was nothing like I really right. I was expecting to wake up and be told, like every time someone says the word French fry, you're going to bark. Like it was nothing like that.
Yeah.
It
That would be a nightmare for you because you love French fries.
Exactly. Well, it didn't say I couldn't eat it. I would just bark.
Yeah, but
at it.
you would have to say it. French fries, please.
It was all just a relaxation exercise. And I did. I actually came out of it feeling like I slept for 8 hours. But it wasn't a total, like he didn't put me out either. It was actually an uncle of mine that oh, stop it. So he it wasn't one of those where
this explains so much. Thank you for getting this out of him. By the way,
boy.
because there's so much that's confusing
it
about
was
him.
nothing like I'm gonna at the count of 3 you're gonna be knocked out. It was nothing
Was
like I was
it,
awake the whole time.
Was it an uncle, a knuckle, and a tear-stained pillow?
Well, there is a very big difference between clinical hypnotherapists and stage hypnotists, and I did both.
Okay.
Cool. And so the stage hypnotist has a lot of physical tricks that go along with it, and I don't want to give all of them away, but
Right,
a lot of them are things people don't realize they're being tricked into because you talk about putting people out. If you say follow my hand, don't move your head, just your eyes, and follow my hand up. You can do that only so long before your eyes get exhausted if you're moving up, because the muscles in your eyes and force your eyes to close, and then the people in the audience are like, whoa. So they're seeing physical phenomena that are actually predictable by muscle movement, and mistaking that. But what you experience is deep relaxation, like a meditation,
Yes.
and which is what clinical hypnotherapy is all about. And
Right,
that's
and
what.
He would say things like you'll feel energy actually coming out of your fingers, and you did. All of a sudden, you get that sensation of like something like almost like this, like just leaving your fingers. It was really strange, but it worked because I did. I felt so relaxed and so rested afterwards, almost like it was like it was the best sleep you ever had.
Yeah,
but I was not out.
His asshole hurt forever afterwards. But
walking like I was horseback riding for 3 days. But no, he didn't knock me out, so I was awake the whole time. I remember.
But at least I slept well.
Exactly. All right. All right. This is all great stuff, Matt. This is a lot of fun with you today.
Loving this.
Favorite guitar player?
What?
Favorite guitar player?
Favorite guitar player? That's a tough one because it always changes. I mean, what are we favorite guitar player? Damn.
All right, give me your top 3.
Well, I can tell you who I think Tommy Emmanuel, I guess. Is probably
who's that?
My you don't know Tommy Emmanuel?
No.
He's an Australian guitar player who plays what's called Travis picking, but basically what he does, he plays all the parts at once. So basically he's using his thumb and all the fingers on the hand.
Like a banjo.
Thumb is playing the bass lines, also banging on the guitar, keeping the drum part percussion, playing the chord parts, the accompaniment parts, and the melody all at once. So it's like a complete orchestra. Mike Dawes is similar. Mike Dawes is an English guy who does the same kind of stuff.
Yes, him I know.
Kent Nashumara, who does the same thing. Kent is a young guy who does the same thing, but he does a rendition of 25 or 64 that will blow your mind because he does special tunings and all that stuff. So he's doing 25 or 64, the bass line, the drum line, the horn parts, the melody part, and the chord accompaniment all at once simultaneously. And you're like, it's only 5 fingers and 2 hands. How the hell are you doing all this stuff? Those guys are my favorite.
That's one of my favorites. Terry Kath from Chicago. That's one of mine.
Yeah. And that he does that guitar solo while doing the horn parts and stuff. Like, if you're a fan of that guitar solo and Terry Kath, you know how incredible that solo is. Imagine doing that solo while you're still doing the drum part, bass part, horn parts, and all the accompanying parts, and still doing that solo.
Yeah, I got to check that out. That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
If rock wise, I think Stevie Ray Vaughan would be probably in my top 1 or 2,
Mount Rushmore.
I know there's a lot of controversy around Eric Clapton right now. People either love Eric Clapton or hate him, and I hear from a lot of people who hate him because of his political stuff lately. But he was very influential. Jimmy Page, of course, is up there. Richie Blackmore.
Yeah, nice.
I
have a friend of mine who plays with them.
With Richie? Blackmore's Night?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and he used to do open mic nights. I heard he was a real asshole.
I've heard that too, that he's a real prick, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I've heard, yeah. I don't know that to be true. I've never met the man, but that's what I've heard.
I had no clue until my friends on Facebook, I started getting all these, here we are in the Czech Republic. And
oh, wow.
You're going to Czech Republic?
Wow, I didn't know he was still doing that. I thought he was just like a local Long Island guy now.
This is some years ago.
I think he's still, once in a blue moon, he still pops up somewhere and plays something. Again, with Blackmore's Night with his wife, where they do all that Renaissance weird stuff.
Yes, and the midgets.
Yes.
I even Rainbow, I wasn't a huge fan of. Deep Purple is where I think, and I know he doesn't appreciate that, but Lazy is one of the, probably in the top 5 of the greatest guitar solos and greatest guitar work I've ever heard. Like Lazy, Lazy, Deep Purple.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And I still think, and I know people discount this, but the guitar solo in Smoke on the Water is one of the tastiest and most intricate in a way of timing and nuance solos that ever been recorded in rock and roll. So that's just a pick.
So let me ask you this thing, because I'm a huge Clapton guy. What's your favorite Clapton guitar solo?
Let It Rain, I guess.
Oh, nice. All right. Wow, you came up with that quickly. I thought you'd have to think about that for a second.
Yeah, it was one of the first ones that blew me away. When I was a kid learning guitar and I heard the solo on the end of that, I was like, whoa, how the hell I'll do that?
Yeah.
Clapton is, and this is what I'll say about Clapton, which I've never heard him, and I've seen a lot of concerts from a lot of different people, never heard him once play a bad note. And I can't say that about a lot of guitar players. Jimmy Page would hit some bonkers a lot when I've seen him live. Even Stevie Ray occasionally would throw in a clam, and you'd be like, what the hell was that? A bus going by?
Well, because they all play so fast, where Clapton, I mean, he played fast, say, in the 60s, but he really doesn't play fast. He's more finesse and smooth.
Right. Yeah, and the ability not to play a bad note is just a cool thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I play a lot of bad notes. Being a guy who plays nothing, I play mostly bad notes.
I don't play any good notes when I play, so
that's funny. All right, so we're so I'm going to let you go in a second, but there's one thing I like to do with a lot of our guests that I'm going to do with you. I look on the Facebook page, and I find mutual friends that we have, and I'm just going to rattle off a few names of mutual friends. Say anything you want about that person.
Right.
Nice.
The first one being Adam Snare.
Adam Snare is a funny guy. I had him on the show. I appreciate him.
You found him funny? Just kidding.
I didn't find him. I didn't find him. He was funny when I met him. He's a good guy, and we share a similar affinity for Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam music. That's all I really know about him.
That's cool.
Right on.
Did you see Eddie Vedder when he just came through town? Right? Didn't he just come through town?
Lots, and I appreciate Eddie Vedder's passion and all the stuff that his passion for his performance, which is rare these days. You see a lot of cookie cutter music, people just trying to be as commercial, and he's a guy who's just dedicated to bring it from a true artistic standpoint rather than trying to make money, just writing to be a pop star.
His new album is fantastic.
Yeah.
You're a big Pearl Jam guy, so you've heard
a big
it.
Eddie Vedder fan.
Yeah,
that's what one of the first jokes that I used to do for people when I was in high school was because that's when they hit grunge and everything. Was Eddie Vedder sings Christmas carols, Silent Night, Holy Night. And then there was
pretty good.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
You need to shake a little more when you.
No, I did.
The voice too.
It was the earphone started kind of like migrating off of my head because it's giant.
Giant head, you mean? Yeah. Where's my next name? Oh, Benny Rizzuti.
Benny, I don't really know except from Facebook.
Does anybody?
I really don't know him at all other than Facebook. You know what happened when I started doing comedian interviews, and then most of my friends on Facebook, I think you'll find, are in front of their profile pic is in front of a brick wall with a microphone.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
And so when that happens, all of a sudden you get friend requests from comedians, but you don't get to really know them that well. So
Right.
Benny's one I never really met.
Well, this list is going to go fast then because most of them are comedians. Well, in fact, there's one name that I see that you're friends with, and I just mentioned him on your show, but you didn't seem to know who it was. But I'll bring him up anyway. Billy Geyer.
Oh, that's a very good friend of mine.
Yeah.
He was one on your show. I recommended that you have him on because he's
Billy's
he's great.
awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, I definitely will pursue that. I want to, basically, my whole mission is to get as many comedians on and give them some exposure to different people, because the fan base I have, they come from the cult of Doug Stanhope. And I don't know how familiar you are with Stanhope, but there are lots of comedians who are, I don't know how to characterize this, but they are picking up the bits and pieces, the crumbs that fall off of Stanhope's table.
True that.
So Stanhope is out there blazing a trail, and people who are open for him or have opened for him or are somehow connected to him, and they all kind of use his success as a marker for their own credibility to build their own credibility. So there's lots and lots of them, and so the fan base, my fan base, is part of the people who are the cult of Stanhope.
That's
cool.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I'll just go with two more names. Joyce Gil Panone.
Joyce,
is
we've had a
fantastic.
contentious relationship a little bit. We are friends, and I love her, and she's a nice person. She grew up in Lindenhurst. She's a Lindenhurst person. We argued about politics originally, like 12 years ago on Facebook, and got off to a little bit of a rocky start, but then realized we had a lot of friends in common and developed a friendship. So she's a very nice person, and I appreciate her very much.
Very nice person, one of the best, and has that the best tux company.
Yeah.
Tuxedos and dresses and stuff. Yeah.
All
all
right,
right.
meant like the thing that like
No, I didn't mean
trans
like tuck.
people
No,
use
no,
to
I didn't talk. I wasn't talking about your Friday
passes
nights.
women.
All right, last name. One of my favorite people in the whole world, Robin Gilbert.
Robin Gilbert is a drummer. She played with us.
Is that right?
Yeah, she's subbed with us a couple of times. She wasn't in the band, but she played with us on several gigs. I love her energy. I love the fact that she's always smiling.
Always.
Always bringing happy energy, no matter what's going on in her world.
That's right.
People, the audience never knows. So she's a very special person as well.
Yep, absolutely. One of my favorite people in the whole world. Absolutely love Robin. She's been in here a couple of times. Great drummer. Her husband is an amazing guitar player.
Right. And John Pagliarillo, who plays with her in Batman, Pagman and Robin.
Right. Yep.
He's a longtime friend. He grew up in the area that I grew up in.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I met him a couple of times. Seems like a good guy, but I don't know him that well. But Robin's fantastic. All right. So there we go. Matt Napo. So Coffee with the Dog. Where do you send people if they're looking to find you? To
MindDogTV.com. Coffee with the Dog happens 5 days a week, and at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And I'm looking to expand that, go an hour earlier or 2 hours earlier. I might do 4 hours, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Nice.
Monday through Friday, and MindDogTV.com. A Mind Dog TV podcast happens at 8 p.m. weeknights, Monday through Friday.
Wow.
All at MindDogTV.com.
How do you find time to fill all that content?
He's at home.
Oh, okay.
Is that I have a lot of publicists who send people to me all the time. So,
Cool.
And I mentioned to you this morning that, or maybe during this, I don't know, that it's a fishing for comedians is, finding them. And so sometimes I don't really know what I'm getting
Have
into.
you tried mozzarella sticks?
Yeah, that definitely works. I put it on a hook.
Exactly.
What I do is I drive past comedy clubs with a mozzarella stick out on a thing, and basically comedians come out and basically and when they get hit by a truck, then I go out. And pick them up.
Hey man, are you done with that?
Yeah, exactly.
We have
so you must have seen me doing it.
I feel like we've maybe met. I don't know. It feels like it though.
That's funny. All right, excellent. Matt, I want to thank you again. I had a great time this morning, and in all seriousness, asked some really cool questions, had a lot of laughs, but a lot of just cool discussion as well, which is what I try to do here. So I really enjoyed it. So I thank you for inviting me, and I thank you for your time today. This was a lot of fun with you today, pal.
And
very
I appreciate it, and hope to see you on April 5th. If I can get my friend to come out to Northport, we'll come out and see you.
That would be great. Thank you, pal. I really appreciate that.
Cool, thanks.
Thank you, Matt. We'll see you soon. Matt Napo, everybody. Thanks.
Take care.
All right.
Drive fast, take chances.
Drive fast, take chances.
It's something that I've said on and off for many years, especially when at the bar, when I was bartending. But it's become such a thing now with comedians, with Billy anyway, because Billy's with me the whole time, and as all the comics say goodbye, they're saying goodbye to both of us, and I go, drive fast, take chances, and he laughs every time I say it. And now he's like, you say that for everybody. And I was like, yeah, I do. And so it's almost like if I don't do it, he'll be sad.
It's your tagline.
Yes.
All right, let's see. Bosie's watching. Hello, Bosie. Carol Miner's watching. DJ D-Love. Austin Brooks says his favorite guitar player is Jesse from Full House.
Nice.
Austin, when are you coming in? Is it? I don't think it's next week. I think it's a week after. I think you're coming back. John Rusiello from Florida. Hello, John. I was just on the phone with Mike Kaplan yesterday. He, we were talking about you, and he says loves your guest and your show. Thank you very much.
Sweet.
Sugar Cat Loaf says great show. She loves Mind Dog. He or she loves Mind Dog.
Yeah, I love how it was a cat, so you immediately went with the feminine. If
Well,
it was
well, no, it
Sugar
was-
Dog Loaf, you'd be like, this dude.
No, it was the sugar that made me go
Sukar.
female.
Wow.
Honest. And Beansy's there. Hello, Beansy. Thanks everybody for watching today, and that was kind of cool. I didn't expect a lot of that.
That dude's super cool. And the whole magic thing, like I man, when I was a kid and even as an adult, like not that I performed magic, but it was always something I was interested in, and got a few Svengali decks and whatnot. But
I had no idea it was going there.
Yeah, and then the sort of the pull back the curtain for things, because it was about him. But I was like, oh man, I totally want to tell this guy how my dad used to read tarot cards.
Oh, for fucking! It's Staz.
Oh, that's better.
It's. Hello, Beansy.
DJ D Love, what's up?
Good morning, all.
How are you, pal?
Good, and you? How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Oh, did you know that guy, that Matt Napo guy?
You know him?
No, but I was listening to his story.
I bet you knew his dad.
No.
No. Not funny.
Not officially.
Yeah, forget about it.
So how you guys doing anyway?
We're doing all right. What's going on by you?
Good. Keeping busy. What can I do?
All right, good call.
Busy working, busy doing this, busy doing that,
Are you working this weekend?
No, actually, I'm taking off.
Why?
I have a couple of things I have to attend.
A couple of things. You got to take care of. They got to get taken care of, Tony. You know what I'm saying?
Can't say much about that.
I have to get bigger dishes for my mother and my mother-in-law for me, of course.
That sounds like
mob code. It's
Absolutely,
totally
mob
code.
The mobster's on the phone with the other. Hey, you take care of the dishes for ma.
Yeah,
and that means something totally different.
Right.
Yeah, I wash my hands of that.
I'm going to say it's like money laundering, but go on.
Yes.
Yeah.
What other illegal activities are you into this weekend?
That'll be all. No, I'm going to work this weekend actually.
Oh, you are?
I'm going to work the whole weekend. Yeah. We have big events coming up and all that. So
you sure fooled us with that dish talk.
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
Well, now he's trying to throw off the FBI who's listening. Right Respect.
Well, listen,
I got you,
Tony.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Felix called me.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
And he said to me to tell you guys, everybody, to say hello for him and everything.
Very nice.
He sounds really good. He sounds really good. He's not breathing heavy no more. He's ready for action.
Well, if you're ready for action, usually you're breathing heavy.
Yeah.
No.
Once he gets into the action.
Well, that kind of an action.
Well, yeah, whenever he called me, he was breathing heavy, which is why I just hang up.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it may not have even been him.
No, but he's doing really good. He called me. So
yeah,
he was trying to find my number, but he couldn't find my number, and he went through his text and he found me. So, which was good, which is funny.
He actually give me a second. He texted me the other day.
He said he was going to text you.
It was a picture, and I don't know why he sent it. There was no text with it. It was just a picture.
I hope it's a penis.
I think he was trying to send a picture of himself, the way he looks from then to now.
Probably. That's definitely what that looks like. It's a before and after picture for sure.
You know what? I have no competition against you, Andy. You know that.
Well, I know you're on a delay on the YouTube feed, so you'll see the picture. I just held it up to the camera, and you'll see the before. You'll see the before and after.
Totally. I mean, I think you're totally 100% right. Is what I'm saying. And when you see
I'm not even watching it right now, you guys, because I'm on the phone.
Oh, he just took it off on it, so you're gonna have to go back.
All right. Well, thanks for that message, and have a great time at work this weekend.
Yeah, take care, man.
All right, take care, guys.
See you, BG.
He's been outside a lot, I guess.
That was good.
Sometimes they just fall in your lap.
Yep. Kelly is watching Coffee with the Dog live chat. Is fun, y'all. Just saying. Thanks, Kelly.
Yeah, we can't wait to check it out, to be honest. That guy's super interesting.
Yeah, he really was. I really enjoyed it, and I'm gonna work on getting him in here.
Work on it. Yeah, work it, Tony. This is definitely.
No, it's not actually.
Oh, Johnny Lambro's on.
Hello, you're live on the air.
Andy, I love your before and after. I love you, Vaginos. Bye.
No moo.
Hey, he's gone.
No.
All right.
Hey, one of my favorite things is to do, especially with comics, when they get called up, and they're buddies of mine. I always say, like, Billy, coming to the stage, Billy Geyer. And I'm like, Billy, I want to have your baby.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I don't know where to go from there.
the Bozinator.
The Bozinator. All right. So I have one story here that I wanted to bring up because I thought of you when I read this story because you have an interesting take on things.
8 inches.
Oh, all right. We're done. An assistant professor at Chapman University filed a federal lawsuit accusing at least one student of posting parts of his midterm and final exams online. David Berkowitz, not Berkowitz. This is not the son of Sam.
This is dog. Tell him
Berkowitz, who teaches business at Chapman, a private university in Orange, California, accused 5 unnamed defendants of copyright infringement and wants the material removed from Course Hero, an education website that provides study material for students. Berkowitz said in the lawsuit that his midterm and final exams, which were administered online because of the coronavirus pandemic, can be accessed only by students currently in the class. He was able to file the copyright infringement lawsuit after he obtained copyright registrations for the material. For the material he uses in his class.
Shows you how into this you are.
St. Patrick's Day yesterday. His client intends to subpoena Course. The lawyer intends to subpoena Course Hero to obtain records identifying those responsible for posting the information. Ethical violation of the honor code, says Chapman. What are your thoughts?
So immediately, I'm thinking of Kim Basinger in 1988 because I thought she was so hot. But
well, that never leaves my mind. Right. She looked fantastic in Batman.
Erin Gray. So, like, at first I'm like, well, they do pay tuition, which actually covers the material.
Right.
So, therefore, it's... But here's the greater thing, and this is where I think they're going to get him. Because at first I was, like, not on his side. Then I was on his side, hearing that he had the stuff copywritten. The problem, in my opinion, is it's information. Like, he's just put it together in a certain way. But if that
that's kind of what I'm thinking.
But that information is available in other places,
right?
Then
I'm thinking, right, this guy should just go home.
You're not gonna like. Right. I mean, yeah, you try to get money, however, but yeah, I don't think that's gonna be successful. Not that we're ever gonna hear the fucking end of it.
True.
Unless he wins, because then people are like,
Right.
these goddamn professors. And
yeah, you're right. I don't know if I'll be able to. I can try to follow up with that. But
yes, would you?
Well, one thing we talked about yesterday, but I'll bring it up because I'm interested to hear your take on it as well.
Oh.
Mike Tyson.
Love Mike Tyson. I really, really do love his journey as a person.
Really?
Yes. Because listen, people make mistakes and everything,
Yes.
but it is about what you do afterwards.
That's a good point because him, Darryl Strawberry, even Todd Bridges.
Yeah.
These are guys that really, they had it all. They went down, and then they found a way back. They're not up where they once were, but they were at a good place.
Right.
You don't hear about them causing trouble anymore. They seem to be past it. They seem to be at a good place.
Yeah, and that's like people who don't have, like, you run into these people that like don't have any sort of like they didn't do shit, right? Like they didn't fuck up or anything. They're not interesting, and so you just were you. Reminds me of Winston Churchill. Apparently, with
he didn't do anything.
Yeah, but he was confronted by this woman who at a party where she was saying like making fun of him, or not making fun of him, but saying disparaging things about him because he was drunk, and he's like, "Yes, ma'am, but I may be drunk, but you are ugly, and when I wake up, I'll be sober, but you'll still be ugly."
Perfect.
Right. It's a great, but it's almost like that. Like if you just going through life, I mean, respect for always doing the right thing and everything, but it is human to err, right? So what you do from there, that's the important part.
Nice.
But anyway, Mike Tyson.
That's all I had. No, I just wanted to say his name.
I love Mike Tyson.
He is now, apparently he's built an empire off weed. He has this whole weed empire.
I think I feel like I'd heard of it some time ago.
He claims that weed, I think he's a little bit of a late bloomer with weed.
Right.
And actually, you know what? There's something, I didn't know what it was. You might know. He said he tried 5-MeO-DMT. He's talking about weed right here. I tried the God molecule.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
You know what that is?
Yes, it's I just saw a thing about this on Pharmacopoeia. I forget even the guy's name who's the first part of, but on Vice, where he traveled to Russia or Czech Republic or someplace that I don't care about. And he was put under with that, and it came out. It was like, that was amazing.
Well, right, that's what Tyson's saying. He said he's never felt so clear in his life.
It's found, that compound, I think, is found in fluorescent bulbs.
That makes sense with Tyson. He probably just eats a fluorescent bulb.
But it's just like, it's a gas that and somebody has to sit there and administer it, because they got to keep track of you, because it's very easy to lose somebody.
Right.
And it be very, very bad.
Wow. You remember, I always think about the 40-year-old virgin when they're smashing the fluorescent bulbs. I used to do that when I worked at a lumberyard. I used to do the same thing. I'd hang out in the back and I would just smash the fluorescent bulbs.
I just thought, like, when I was in the Air Force and we would have to every now and then replace light bulbs, they'd be like, I'd come back in pissed because I had to go do that. And they'd be like, "Did you make sure you broke them?" Yeah, I made sure I broke them. I never fucking broke them.
It was fun.
I just put them into the
and they were
dumpster.
loud. Boom!
Yeah.
It was weird. So yeah, he says, I've never felt as healthy in my life. I've never felt as clear in my life. He said after he tried the God molecule, his whole life changed. He lost 100 pounds, started fighting people again at age 55. Even from a business perspective, everything changed. A health perspective, ideology perspective.
Right.
As far as the clearness of my thinking, I never thought I could feel so good at the age of 55. He had a weed empire. Oh, and so he's put out edibles in the shape of an ear because he bit Holyfield's ear, Evander Holyfield's ear. So now they're...
Well, that's the other thing that I like about him, is that he progressed to the point where he allows himself to be part of the joke. Because he's been in a public eye since he was a teenager.
Right, yeah.
Like, that's... And to come from like the beginnings that he had and then be thrust into the spotlight and money and all this other stuff, it was going to fuck him up.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what, like, did I like the things that no, I didn't, but I understand that they happened, and he could have just gone on doing them, or he could be like O.J. Simpson and just be like, "Oh, I didn't do it, but I'm gonna write a book about what if I did do it." But he's embraced, and he's like, "Hey, he'll say like, I made a lot of mistakes, and if he had to live them over, he wouldn't do it that way because of his journey."
Yep.
And that's why that's what ends up getting lost in the political discourse. This kind of feeds into that, because what we do is we make a straw man for the other guy, and you say, "Oh, liberals, oh, conservatives," like they but we all put our pants on the same way. We jump into them.
Yep.
Both legs at the same time.
That's what I liked, kind of making jokes with Matt Napo about him throwing out his TV, but at the same time I found that commendable, because he's absolutely right.
Oh yeah.
The news media, and one of the downsides of the internet and social media, just how they've created such a divide.
Well, they haven't done that on purpose. They've done it to make it's sort of like the road to hell is paved with good intentions, right? They were trying to make money, So they found the best ways to make money. Unfortunately, that has pushed things ideologically away from the center and away from each other. So it's not like the media went, and people within the media, because it's not like the media is a person. I mean, if you are, please call in. But it's not like the media set out to do that. Like they truly are. It's good intentioned. Reporters get into it to tell stories, to spread truth that they find.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying for the most part, but you do have certain news outlets that are paid for by a particular party or a particular company, a particular person, where their agenda is to steer you a certain way.
Right, because and it's money, and that's
well,
why.
Yeah,
I think it's hilarious because like I'm gonna sound like a socialist for a second, but capitalism. This is what capitalism does. For good or bad.
No, yeah,
capitalism is neither good nor bad. The effects of capitalism are good and bad, like
right.
anything.
Yes,
this is one of the bad things because if somebody can make money off of it, they're going to do it, and it has nothing to do with like being like, you know what, I want to make everybody hate each other. They're just like, oh, we get more money when we talk about that.
Right.
Looking at the like all sorts of sweet, do that again.
Yep.
Put that on again. You know what? If they're making so much money doing that, let's try doing the opposite and see if that'll work.
Right.
So it's sad because nobody is intending for this to happen, in my opinion.
Okay.
I'm not always right.
You're not?
No, this is what I'm
trivia
saying.
you are.
I was saying no, I'm not. No, I was saying because my wife is like, oh, hey, you know, what's your opinion on this? And I have to be like, all right, I'm not an expert at this.
Please don't.
I don't have an
bite my head off.
understanding, but my understanding comes from this. It's from the hip reaction. And usually he's like, okay, just can tell me. By the time I finish my disclaimer. But much like that with this, I mean, I've been on all sides of this.
Yes.
And argued for all sides of this. But like, I think I've finally come to where it's like, oh my God, like most people, like we're human beings. Like I know everybody loves to be like, oh, we're all like individuals. This is kind of bullshit. Like biologically, we're restricted to like certain, like a certain area, like speech, eating, pooping. That's how I always tell my daughters, like, if you can connect with people about taking a shit, or peeing also, eating, the things that we all share, you're gonna be able to.
Well, yeah, and that's the stereotypical, conversation starter. Hey, nice weather we're having.
Yeah, God.
Same thing. Can't stand that. Speaking of your daughter, that was a great post yesterday.
Oh yeah, well, I do that joke like almost like every other year.
I don't think I've ever heard it.
Yeah, it was like 2 years ago. I did it with the three of us, Charlotte, Daphne, and I.
Oh, now you say, I think I do remember that now.
Yeah. But this time, Daphne was like, Dad, I'm going to tell that joke at school. And I'm like, all right, go ahead, tell it. And she's like, and she screwed it up. And I'm like, all right, it's like this. And she's like, okay. I'm like, do you mind if I film it? And she's like, go ahead. We actually filmed it twice. The first time she really screwed it up. But the second time she nailed it. And no, she's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then the postscript to that story, by the way, I didn't post this, but she goes to school. Her teacher goes, anybody have anything they'd like to share? She raises her hand. She goes, I got a joke. She tells the joke. Her teacher loses it. Later on, the teacher actually calls her own mother and has Daphne tell the joke again.
Oh, that's funny. That's cool. That's really funny. She's going to follow her father in his own footsteps. What's wrong with me today? I think I'm stroking out.
I don't know about if you're just going to limit it to today.
True. No argument there.
No, dude, I'm losing it. I'm early onset dementia. It's coming.
Yeah.
This is big.
Yeah, but you've done drugs. I haven't.
Right. So I enjoyed myself.
Oh, that's true. Right. You had an interesting journey.
And I'll continue to enjoy myself. God molecule and everything.
What do you got this weekend? Anything?
Yeah. Well, tomorrow night. I don't have anything tonight. Actually, I'm going to try to go to Babylon because there's this roast battle, or not roast battle.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a roast thing that. Yeah. Oh, LaRocco's.
LaRocco's in it. Yeah.
And Billy's in it, and that's.
I think LaRocco and Rocco. Right? Isn't Steve Rocco?
Oh, but yeah, Perillo's there. Yeah. It's
I didn't realize that until now.
Rocco's. Yeah.
Like we got to really, be careful what we say. Otherwise, they're going to think we're talking about the other.
Maybe we can get Perillo to change his name to Little Stevie Perillo or something like that.
Yeah, but then see, for me as music, I'm going to get confused with Little Steven.
Really, you're going to confuse Little Steven?
I swear to you, this is true. A friend of mine claims to have a very loose connection to Little Steven, and for the past 2 weeks or so, has supposedly been reaching out to his connections to get Little Steven on the show. I swear to God, that's true.
Cool. So
and,
you should have Perillo come in. Be like, I was wondering if I could start using Little Steven as my name because Rocco's just getting.
But we can't. Little Steven always has the
the
headband on his head.
He's always got some
right.
sort of black thing. Yeah.
Right. So we could ruin Rocco Perillo's career.
I don't know about that. I think some people would be like, well, he's got the same name as the guy from the E Street Band.
Right.
I'm going to go check him out.
I thought for sure when you said, I don't know about that, he's going to do that himself. I thought for sure that's what you were going to say.
That's the better shot.
All right, so, but what are you doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow I'm at Farrell's, and Joe Cravella is on that show. Terry McNeely is headlining at Farrell's Tavern in Ronkonkoma. It's right off the expressway.
Yep.
I love it because it was seriously like you're out front. There's I mean, it's like a block, but it's right there.
Oh, that's good. So, all right, that's tomorrow. And Terry McNeely is here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of cool stuff going on. All right, cool. Very nice. And, of course, live from Governor's Green Room, we'll be back tomorrow.
Ooh.
Me, Don, I'm assuming Sallie. I think Josh Schaefer said he wanted to come by. And who's? Oh yeah, so Rob Chaffee is in the little room with. I always screw up the guy's name. Is it Lubel? Oh, that's
I
not
would
it.
say Level would be my
Lubel. Al Lubel. Lubel.
Lubel.
I don't know. I should know that. And they even told me the other day, the guys that were in here, LaRocco and Cravella and Austin Brooks, they even told me how to say it, and I already lost it. Well, either way, that guy's playing tomorrow night at the Giggle Room. Because they don't tell us here at the club. I have to find this information out myself. The club doesn't even tell me who's coming in. Sons of bitches.
Son of bitch. Fuck.
But yeah, Don and I will be here tomorrow night for Live from Governor's Green Room. You can see Don tonight with Top 5s.
Nice.
Top 5 Bay Area comedians. He already did Bay Area clubs. Now he's doing Bay Area comedians.
So comedians that perform near my bay.
Exactly. Oba KB. Bay, never mind.
Oba KB.
Boshi says, so it's pronounced Lubel? Or
Lubel.
Lubel. Alan Lubel. Al Lubel. And Rob Chaffee tomorrow night in the Giggle Room. Don't forget, April 1st in the Giggle Room, Knockem Dead Comedy performing one of our great murder mystery shows.
Starring Jeff Posey.
That's right. Looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. You know what? I never even told you guys. The improv class has been postponed. Everybody was contacted. Everybody's cool. But John Dorsick was dealing with kidney stones.
Oh.
So he's been down and out. We do not have a new date yet, but we'll get back to you on that. All right. Top 5s tonight. Live from Gov's Green Room tomorrow night. You want some live action, you come to any of the 3 Governors Comedy Clubs, or you head over to Farrell's in Ronkonkoma and see Andy and the gang. Thank you, pal.
Thank you.
This was fun. Special thanks to Matt Napo. This was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
And thank you all you guys for checking us out today. Kelly and
Sugar
Beansy.
Cat Loaf.
Yep. And John and Jeff, of course, and Austin and Carol. And forgive me if I left anybody out. Everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys later. Suck it. Peace.